What happens to the body of a serial killer after they die? In the case of Jeffrey Dahmer, it was yet another thing for his parents to argue about. In terms of number of victims, Jeffrey Dahmer isn't the most horrific serial killer in American history. Dahmer had 17 victims compared to the likes of Ted Bundy, who had as many as 35 victims, and Gerald Stano, who had as many as 41. But Dahmer's killings were very gruesome. Dahmer sexually assaulted at least some of his victims before killing them, as well as afterward. He also mutilated some of his victims. He reportedly kept parts for display and ate pieces. He even drilled holes in living victims' skulls and poured acid inside. Dahmer's case also shone a light on the failings of the Milwaukee Police Department and Wisconsin's criminal justice system, both of which had opportunities to stop Dahmer before he killed more. For example, according to the Milwaukee Sentinel, neighbors tried valiantly to get the police to intervene in the case of a teenager Dahmer had kidnapped. While the victim was trying to escape, police told the neighbors to stay out of it. In 1992, Dahmer was finally convicted for 15 of the murders he committed. He was sentenced to a life sentence for each. He told the court at the time,
"I didn't ever want freedom. Frankly, I wanted death for myself."
Dahmer was sent to Columbia Correctional Institution in Portage, Wisconsin. In 1994, he became the victim of his own murder in prison. After his death, Dahmer's body was cremated in Madison, Wisconsin. His parents, Lionel Dahmer and Joyce Flint, had divorced when the killer was 18 after a troubled marriage. They were still estranged when Dahmer died, and they quarreled over the disposition of his remains. Each parent was to receive half of the ashes, but there was a problem. According to the New York Times, Flint had asked that her son's brain be donated to a university for study to see if there was a physiological problem that contributed to his behavior. His father wanted it cremated along with the rest of his body. Ultimately, the killer's body was cremated without the brain, but following a court decision, his brain too was eventually cremated as well. How exactly did Dahmer die in prison? Initially, his jailers kept him in solitary confinement out of fear that other inmates might wish him harm or want to make a name for themselves by killing America's most infamous serial killer. After a few months in solitary, Dahmer asked to be moved to a less restrictive environment. Since he'd been a model prisoner up to that point, jailers granted his request. He was moved into a unit for prisoners with emotional problems and was able to attend classes, eat meals with other inmates, and perform work duties. However, once he was among other inmates, he decided to tell jokes that were apparently only funny to him. He would tell guards and other prisoners that he would bite, and then delight in their nervous reactions. He would also shape bits of food into body parts, using ketchup to represent blood. In July 1994, a fellow prisoner tried to kill Dahmer, but was unsuccessful. Dahmer asked not to be sent back to solitary and remained in the general population. A few months later, another inmate succeeded in killing Dahmer. According to the New York Post, Christopher Scarver, who entered the facility around the same time, killed Dahmer. Scarver said that he never interacted with Dahmer up until the day that he killed him. On the morning of November 28, 1994, Scarver, Dahmer, and inmate Jesse Anderson were cleaning a bathroom in the gym. They had been left unsupervised. Someone, it's not clear if it was Dahmer or Anderson, playfully poked Scarver in the back. Scarver heard them laughing. When he had a chance, Scarver followed Dahmer, retrieved a piece of weight equipment, and bludgeoned the convicted murderer in the head, killing him. Scarver would later say that he killed Dahmer because of the killer's jokes about his crimes and how he taunted the other inmates. He also said that prison officials may have played a role in Dahmer's death by leaving him unsupervised with Scarver, who they knew hated him. Scarver told the New York Post, "They had something to do with what took place, yes." If you or anyone you know has been a victim of sexual assault, help is available. Visit the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network website or contact RAIN's National Helpline at 1-800-656-HOPE 4673.